Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Unlocked Door podcast. Today is going to be the first episode of the podcast. I have been waiting so long to do this. I did record an episode before this, but I cannot upload it. Mainly because I forgot to click the button that allows the thing to record my voice. So it's completely, you can't hear anything. So I have said fix that, and I can see that it's recording my mic. So now that I'm done with that hiccup, here we are. There's a bit I want to say. This is going to be a little bit of a shorter of the majority of episodes that are going to be on the podcast. Mainly because this is mostly an introductory episode. With that being said, it's still going to have a topic. Somewhat. Something I definitely want to talk about today is something that I'm actually going through personally, and maybe or maybe not, this might help some other people out there. So, I found that, and I hope this isn't just me, but since quarantine started, a lot of us, we've been good, but a lot of us have been, it's gotten tough. And technically quarantine is over and all that stuff, but it still leaves a lasting effect on a lot of people. Like for me, I've had a lot of time with myself and a lot of time to reflect on who I am as a person. And although a lot of people in my life will beg to differ with this statement, it's a matter of personal opinion. A lot of people love who I am as a person. I, on the other hand, am having the biggest trouble with that. Because lately, and this is because of the self-reflection, lately I've become very irritable, very, like, I wouldn't say full-blown anger really, but I guess I'm just going to call it anger. I've been prone to anger lately, but it's not anger towards anyone or anything in particular, other than I'm angry with myself. I'm angry with who I am as a person. And I know some of you out there are probably thinking, well, isn't that everyone? Everyone doesn't love themselves. Yes, that's most people in the world, they don't love themselves. And it's a sad thing to hear, sad thing to know about. But for some reason with me, I take it a step further and I hate myself. I hate who I've become. And because of who I am, it makes me angry at that person who I am. And it's like an ongoing cycle at this point. I am fixing it. I am going through steps and changes to be more, this is who I am. If I want something to change, let's do it. And it's a bit of a step, but it's been an ongoing cycle for a little bit, and I've just grown to realize over time that, especially since the concussion, because it makes my emotions more adept, they're more out in the open. I can't hide most of it like I used to. So, like, I'll cry at movies that 90% of people don't cry at, because I'm like, oh my god, that's a touching scene. But yeah, and I'm not afraid to show my emotions, but it's amplified all of my emotions since the concussion. And my concussion is not going away. That's a side note. But back to the point that I'm trying to tell. So, it's been an ongoing cycle of I get angry because of who I am, and I can't even put it into words. It's just like one thing leads to one thing, and that one thing leads to the other thing. So it's just an ongoing cycle. I don't like myself, and I hate myself because I'm angry, and then I'm angry because I hate myself. And it keeps going back and forth and it keeps going and going. Now I'm going, I'm using other people's words, okay? I am, according to my friends, according to people I know, I am a nice person. I am a sweet, gentle soul. And at the same time, I'm like, if only people knew some of the thoughts that go in my head. One person in particular knows kind of what goes on in my head, but I am an open book to most of my friends. I am. However, there's a lot buried underneath the surface. It's like an iceberg effect. They see what's on the top, which is a lot, granted. But there's so much more left unsaid. And I'm probably never going to let anyone in to see that. That's just something that's never going to happen. And that's another thing that it's like, I'm unhappy with this part of me. I'm unhappy with these things. Everyone has their own deepest, darkest secrets. Everyone has those things. I'm looking at the camera that's flipped. Everyone has those things that it just can't. I can't live with that part of me. But it's something that I feel like I can't change. Granted, there are things that I can't change because it's not something personality-wise or things like that. It's more things that I go through on a daily basis that literally out of my control. But it's a matter of how you deal with said things. When you deal with said things a certain way, it will help you cope. And that's one of the biggest hurdles in a lot of people's lives, granted. But it still can be done. It still can be done. But it's a matter of getting to that point of knowing A, what to do, B, why it's happening, and there's a few things that you need to go through, and you can't really skip steps when you're trying to change either a part of your life, part of who you are, and other things like that. You can't skip certain steps because one, they're crucial, and two, if you skip a step, you could lead to backtracking and going back. Now, with the anger thing that I've been going through, I've been taking a lot of my anger out on games. And one of my friends, he's had to put up with that. But he's like, hey man, we all get angry from time to time. Don't worry about it. He's a really good dude. Like, I got really, really angry last night. Not last night. I got really, really angry one night. And rather than him, like, pointing out all the things that are, like, why it's wrong for me to get this angry on something, he said, hey, sometimes we have a major blowout. Like, we blow up at things. Don't worry about it. And it's having people like that in your life that don't try to pick at your faults and say, like, why are you doing this? Why? And rather have people who are like, hey, you're only human. And they're not quick to criticize you. But they'll, like, because he commended me on one thing, because I was like, I don't like that I'm this angry. This isn't me. I feel guilty that I'm getting this angry. And he's like, well, at least you have the you're mentioning how this is wrong. Yeah, you shouldn't be getting this angry. But I have to commend you on you physically saying that, because, well, a lot of people don't. They shift the blame. And yeah, when I'm playing games, I'm shifting the blame on the game. Yes. But last night and the nights beforehand, I literally said to him, like, I know why I'm angry. I'm angry at myself, and I'm taking it out on games and things like that. And I know it's full-blown me. Some of the problems are the games. Like when you experience glitches that frig you over, and it's like, yeah. But I've been taking my anger out on games, but now I'm trying to shift that. I'm in the shifting phase where I'm trying to be like, hey, it's not the game, it's me. I'm working on it. Yes, this game is making me irritable, but hey, we can get past it. One of the old mechanisms I used to have that I'm trying to bring back, but since the concussion kind of disappeared for some reason, whenever I would get upset at a video game, I just laugh it off. And it's true what they say, when laughter is the best medicine. Because as I was laughing it off, like, oh, you want to kill me? Oh, you and your bullshit skills. Just not like a psychopath laugh, but it was just like, I would make fun of whatever happened, and I'd make light of the situation, and it would just make the rage that was building up just disappear, and it wouldn't add to like an anger buildup or anything. It would just disappear, and it really did help. It really did. I really appreciated finding that pretty early in my life. Did I still get upset at certain video games? Yes. Because I would start going past what I knew what was my limit. But I know what my limit is, and I mostly, like 90% of the time, I'd stop at my limit. Because I knew what my limit was, and I would go do something else. Mainly music, which is something I'm trying to... I'm going to start... Because music is a very good deterrent for anger sometimes. If you just listen to something calming that you know will calm you down. I have a couple playlists that help me. I might put them somewhere for you guys to find. But I'm going to start listening to music for 1 to 2 hours out of a day. Because I feel like that would just... It's going to help me start mellowing back into the old habits I used to have and get back to where I feel like I used to be. Because I'm still trying to get back to where I was before the concussion. And the concussion is a main factor to everything that's gone on in my life. It's one of the reasons why I don't record and edit very much. Along with software issues. And it's also a contributing factor to just like it increases headache pressure. Mainly it's permanent migraine, because that's how bad the pain is in my head. But it also gets me in the mindsets. It affects my mental health definitely, because it makes me feel like when I'm doing stuff like this or recording a game, doing live streams, it makes me feel like I'm not good enough, and nobody's gonna ever enjoy anything I do, and it just makes me think, why do it? But I know why I do this. I do this because I want to make anyone's, even if it's just one person, I want to make their life just a little bit better. Regardless of how much better I do make it. They can laugh at me, they can hate me to make themselves feel better. I don't care. Granted, I want a certain type of community, a community that they're there for each other as well. Because there's not much that needs to be said about that, actually. A community like that is bound to bring itself up, and people are going to help each other so much. And it's just, I've seen a community like that. I'm actually a part of a community like that. It's not mine. But I'm a part of a community like that everyone's so kind to each other. Yes, they joke around and they pick at each other in certain ways, but they do it in the right way. They don't go that one step further to try to kick somebody a little bit. And it's really nice. You feel at home. It's uplifting. And that's really what I want to do. I need to find a better light. Because I want to have the blue light going on in the background, and then have like a ring light pointed at me. But that's going to be a little difficult to do right now. I am in the process of moving again. The place I'm living at right now. This is going to be also like an update on my life, because we're getting actually to the end of the episode, this short episode. But what I want you to take away before I say anything on that matter, what I want you to take away from this is do what you need to do to better yourself. What you feel you need to do to better yourself, do it. Sometimes we don't realize we need to do something until it becomes very, very apparent. But if there's something that you know you need to change, or you just seek out the help that you need. Seek out the right people that you know have your best interest at heart. We all need somebody. And to better our mental health, we need to take any steps necessary. I'm doing it, and I thought it was the most difficult thing in the world to do. But with the right people, it's not too hard. Yes, it's difficult. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not an easy thing. Nothing ever worthwhile in life is ever easy. But it's the outcome that makes it worthwhile. That being said, my mind just drew blank. I've been having a bit of memory problems with concussion, so forgive me on that matter. But yeah. Update. Moving. Right. So I've been looking at a place. It looks very much what I pretty much need right now. So I'm hoping I can get the place. I'm not staying here. I can't. But I need out of here. This place isn't structurally solid. It heavily needs to be renovated. And the internet's so bad. Like, I'm not even kidding. I get kicked off of the internet over 10 times a day. And my friend can vouch for me on that. Because last night we were actually gaming, and my internet was crapping out a lot. And eventually it cut me off. And because we were playing on PlayStation 5, it cut me out of the game and of the voice chat. And then like 30 minutes later, I joined back in this chat. And I'm like, effing internet! And he starts cracking his ass laughing. And I couldn't help but laugh at him for laughing at me, because I'm just sitting there, I'm like, why do I gotta go through these things? But I was able to laugh. Like, yeah, I was pissed at the internet, but I was able to laugh it off. And it was actually great. Ugh. We were definitely having a bad night in games last night. But I found an Easter egg that I didn't know existed in one of the games we played just before we ended our chat yesterday. And I was like, oh, I wish you could be here. I found it in the most illegitimate way. So in Dying Light, just Dying Light, not the following DLC, but in Dying Light, there's a Mario level. The Mario World 1. There's a replica of it in Dying Light. Now, the real way to get there is, I found this out later, you're supposed to go to a special roof, and then there's a pipe in the chimney that you're supposed to click on and interact with, and it'll take you to said level. No, I jumped on a wall, so I jumped on a wall like right here, but for some reason it wouldn't let me grab onto it, even though it was actually one of the walls you're supposed to. And Crane, the character you play as, jumped to the wall to his left. And then I was like, what the frig are you doing? And then he jumps to his right again to the other wall, but he clips into where the two walls meet in the corner. And I go through and I get stuck. And all you see is Crane like constantly jumping. And then I shift and turn my body like towards the wall, like inside the building. and then I fall in, and so I found out the whole world inside is just water. So I got in there, and I'm swimming around for about 45 minutes, and I'm like, I see this thing off in the distance because I'm going towards my buddy who's on the other side of the map. And it's underneath the map, there's the level. And I was like, what the frig is this? And I get close to it, and it teleports me inside. I found it in the most illegitimate way, because you're not supposed to do that, and I couldn't get out, so I had to ask my buddy. Once I got in there, I got the special thing that's inside, I had to ask him to go to the bed so that I could teleport to him, because it wouldn't let me out. Oh boy. It was quite the journey. I'm like, I'm off on my own little adventure while you're doing whatever, God knows what. And it it was actually really, really fun. We're probably gonna do more of that today, but I definitely wanna. I've been really craving a lot of story-driven games. So off camera, from the YouTube, the gameplay, the channel, and Twitch, I've beaten. I will actually send you a screenshot. Send you, god damn it. I will have a screenshot on either an actual update vlog or whatever. But I beat Resident Evil 2 on hardcore mode with an A rank. I was about 6 minutes and a half away from an S rank. I was mind blown. I managed to actually do that. And it's just, I didn't expect myself to be able to do that. Now, I'm trying the hardest difficulty on Resident Evil 3, but it's actually really difficult. Because right off the get-go in the game, when you actually first get your gun, there are about 5 to 6 zombies in front of you with a very confined alleyway. And it's a one-hit kill. So I die in one hit. 2 if I'm lucky. But there's no way of getting past them because the dodge mechanic isn't active until later. Capcom, what the fuck? I'm trying not to swear on the podcast. But what the heck, Capcom? Capcom, what? What are you doing? But we're reaching the end of the episode, and I'm gonna do a little outro sequence, I guess. I'm using a different editing software right now until I can fix my current one. So bear with me on the editing. I'm not the best editor. I'm hoping maybe sometime in the future I can actually get an editor, because it would be very lovely and very helpful. Ugh, and anyone would be better than me. God damn it. But anyway, so I'm going to try to get this podcast put on Spotify very shortly, very soon, hopefully. And for those who don't want to watch a full-blown video and just want to watch it or listen to it in the background, because hey, let's face it, we're on that level now. That's how the world's going. But anyway, if you like this video, please subscribe and stay tuned for more episodes. This podcast will be coming out every Wednesday around noon, because I just like noon. It's the middle of the day. That's when people are usually having around their lunch and stuff, so it's a perfect time for episodes to go out. I'm actually recording this on the Wednesday that it is coming out, so yeah, I gotta work on that. But yeah, subscribe if you like videos like this, and check out the gameplay I have done. We are going to be doing some horror games in the very, very near future, and this is going to be the new YouTube setup. It's going to be on a couch, because hey, this is really comfy, and if I get upset I can just go, oh my god, and then relax and recline, and it's so comfy. And god damn it, Jasmine's easier to be seen. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I love all of you. I'm really hoping you're gonna like this podcast. This has been the Unlocked Door podcast with King Wolfga. And please stay tuned for more. And as always, I love you all.